Welcome to the 46th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome to the returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're glad you could join us. Today our adventure takes us to Howell, Michigan. It's part of our Michigan trip that we went on. We had a quick visit in Howell, and I'm excited to talk to you about that. But before we begin, Colleen will talk to you about what we're wearing.
So let's talk first of all about what May is wearing. And she is wearing a hack. And I really like that the Cozy Up sisters that do their designs love when people hack them. So this is actually a hack of Katie's shawl. And the Katie shawl is a big shawl, and May, that's not necessarily, she doesn't wear big shawls. So what I did, and the reason why I used that pattern, it is a paid for pattern, so I'll be careful, is that the ladies love an I-cord. And it makes the edges of the V in this really, really nice.
It does.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a slip stitch on one side and I-cord on the other, and so I really like how that came out. We used the hand-dyed Heaven, and that's a Lion brand yarn, and we got that at Michael's. It's very nice to work with. It's 100% nylon, so it's really slick. So if you're thinking about working with it, it's great to work with, but think about maybe using a bamboo needle or a wooden needle, because I think, especially if you're just starting out, the metal needles would make it kind of slippery.
Now, have you done this in another color for me before? Because it feels like it's the same as something else you've done, or no? Is this the only color you've done
I don't think I've made another one out of that yarn for you, but we try to get yarns that don't have a lot of wool in them because
it's too itchy.
It's too itchy. So you are not a rustic lady. And as we know, she loves cashmere, so we get cashmere in there as well. So that's what May's wearing. And I am wearing the Arboreal sweater. There's the picture.
Nice sweater. You did an amazing job on this.
Thank you. And that's by Jennifer Steingass. And I've used two yarns. So I used Knit Picks City Tweed DK. And I used Northfield Valley Yarns. And that came from Webs. And so what happened was, and you will know that, the computer screen doesn't always show colors the way that it is in real life. So when I got the City Tweed DK, I thought, ooh, it's a little bit more beige than I thought it would be. I love it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the yarn, but I thought if I have too much beige around my face, it's not going to be a great thing. So what I did was I thought, okay, what colors do I normally wear? And I thought, well, I wear black. So I'll just put black in as far as the pattern goes, and that's going to break up a little bit of the beige. So if you ever order something online and the color isn't quite what you thought, then there's ways around it. And I'm really happy with it. It fits. And I think the other thing is when you're going to make a garment, you make your test gauge swatch, and it will help you. I have made garments. My very first sweater I called the elephant sweater because it was so big, but I didn't understand anything about what weights of yarn, and I just was going to make a sweater. So now I make the gauge swatch and I plan it out from there.
Well, it turned out great. That fits you to a glove.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
The sleeves are nice.
Exactly.
You did a wonderful job on that.
And we've got a little bit more snow today in London, Ontario, where we are. And so I'm keeping nice and warm. I might be too warm in the house. I don't know. If you see my face get a little flushed, you'll know that the City Picks City DK has 55% merino, 25% superfine alpaca. That's why it's so warm, and 20% Donegal tweed. And I really like it. I would think about ordering this yarn again because it's a really nice DK weight.
How long does it take you to do a sweater like that? Like how long would it...
You know, I thought it was going to take longer, but it's a top-down sweater. It was a great pattern, and Jennifer Steingass has all kinds of them. And because it was only ever one color, like the two colors at one time, it knit up really quickly.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. And I'm
Great.
happy. Some people don't, a top-down sweater doesn't work for them, but I'm happy about this, so I think I'm going to make a few more.
Good.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's what I'm wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is a shawl, and it is called the Multnomah shawl. I have spelt this word in so many ways you won't even believe it. I have. Every time I go to look at it, I change an N and an M. Oh my goodness. And this is by Kate Ray, who is helloknitty.net. It is a brilliant pattern.
You wonder who came up with a name like that. There's got to be a story behind that.
There
name.
is.
What's the story behind that
The
name?
story is, it's a Multnomah County is in Northwest Oregon, and it's home to a place very near and dear to the pattern designer's heart, and the city of Portland.
I knew there was a story.
There's always
you
a
don't
story.
just name something like that.
I know, and I think the more patterns there are, the more stories there are,
Yeah.
because everybody has a certain idea. So the yarn that I used, by the way, some of my favorite yarn, is Comeragh Yarns and Fibres from Ireland. So we got this when we went to Ireland.
Oh, you like that stuff.
I love this stuff. So here it is, and oh my goodness.
Oh, it looks so Irish, this. I love
It
this.
does. The colorway is called Hills in the Fall. And I love this green.
Wow, the pattern is beautiful. Like, do you like the pattern?
I
Was it-
really, really like
Was it
the
a
pattern.
nice and easy thing to knit?
It was. And they, in the pattern, they talk about ways of if you have extra yarn. And I really like the size of
Oh,
this. Sometimes
yeah.
shawls are too big, but this is a really nice shawl.
Nice size, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a one skein?
It is a one skein, and I actually have yarn left, and you'll see that in Works in Progress.
Wow,
what
I
did
really
with
like that. It's so light and
It
it's
is. So it's
beautiful.
going to be nice. You know that summer when you've got air conditioning? It's going to be
Right,
nice for that one.
Very nice.
So that's my first finished object. My second finished object
you have been busy again.
I have is the Grande double wrap with a shot of brioche. And this is by the Cozy Up Knits Design ladies from Grand Prairie, Alberta. Love their podcast. And this is brilliant.
Wow, look at this.
I love it. So this is a double wrap cowl.
Oh, okay. So it's all.
It's all joined up.
All
So
joined up.
it is a paid for pattern. You start with I'll just say you start with a provisional cast on. And so it's really nice because it's seamless, so to speak. And there's 4 different stitches. And there's this lovely big part of brioche. And I was so scared because I know when you do brioche, if you drop a stitch or make a mistake, it's really hard.
Oh, is this when you put in that thread?
That's when I
call
put
that?
in the lifeline.
Lifeline, yes.
Exactly. And I did it a number of places. And the reason why I did it was because I thought, okay, I'm good up to here. Put a piece of, I used crochet cotton, put it through. Then I knit a little bit more, put it through. And at one point in time, I thought, okay, I'm just going to knit one more row, and then I'm going to put it through. And it was one row. So then I made a mistake and had to rip back to the lifeline, but the
Oh.
lifelines saved my life. So
That's why they're called lifelines.
it is. And this yarn is Mountain Colors.
This is not your
it's
usual color.
Twizzlefoot.
This is blues. And
Yes,
that.
actually this one, the
But it goes
darker
well.
blue, this one right here is actually called Navy. And this one here is called Snowberry.
Oh, nice. It turned out nice, whatever
I'm
it
really,
was.
really happy. And the
Yep.
different stitch patterns,
Nice.
brilliant pattern. So if you are ready to attempt some brioche, this is a good one.
Nice.
Yeah, I really, really like that pattern.
Perfect.
It's fantastic.
Nice.
So that was great. All right, so my third finished object, I have been busy, I realized that. Oh my goodness. Is called the Thursday Afternoon Shawl, and that's by Kate Atherley.
And Kate Atherley, you like Kate Atherley.
I do. I've taken classes with her. Every time I see her going someplace, I'm going, oh, I'm going to take a class because she's a great teacher and she really explains things well. This pattern is brilliant. And actually, the reason why I even got this pattern was because she wore this shawl, scarf, to one of the classes that I was
Oh,
taking. And I went,
and you
oh,
liked it.
what is that? And so anyway, it's nice. The yarn is Estelle worsted. And it is a 50% acrylic, 40% wool, and 10% nylon. It's lovely to work with. It's a worsted weight. Really, it's kind of shawlette, maybe we can call it that way. And it seems I've fallen in love with green. I don't know why, but I have. So
It's the Irish in you, I
It's the
guess.
Irish. Absolutely, but I really,
Oh, this is
really
nice.
like
a little
it.
thicker. A little.
It is.
Is it because of the way you knit? the stitches that makes it thicker?
It's the yarn. The yarn is
okay.
thicker. So sometimes you'll see something that, this is a DK yarn.
Right.
This is a worsted weight, so it is thicker, but the ribbed also makes it squishy.
Right.
And you can, I haven't blocked it yet, because I'm gonna try it just like this, because I like how the fabric is, but you could open it up if you wanted it to
Right.
be a bit bigger.
No, I like this. It feels like it's pretty substantial.
It is, it's
And
nice.
one skein again?
That was 2 skeins of
skeins
worsted
for
weight
this.
yarn.
Wow.
Yeah.
How easy was this to do?
It is lovely. The pattern is beautifully written, and it is a lovely pattern. So if you know how to do some knitting and purling, you can give that one a try as well.
Okay. Well,
You'll
if I ever
see.
do that, I'll let you
Okay.
know.
I'm trying, people. I'm really trying to get her to knit, so maybe we'll get her to do some knitting. All right, my last finished object, ooh, there's 4 this time, is the Betula ring.
Oh, I love this.
And that's by Carina Spencer. Now, I'm just going to hold this picture up because neither one of us wants to mess up our hair and show you. But there's 4 different ways to wear this. And that's what I like about it. And so it is in Charisma Tweed. And that is a loops and thread yarn. Got it at Michael's. It was on sale. And here it is.
Turned out amazing.
So you can wear it as you saw the ways. You can wear it this way up. You can wear it this way up. You can wear it with the buttons open. So I'm just going to show you.
Did I actually wear this once, or was it another
I
one?
don't think you have.
Okay.
So you can wear it like that, and then this part goes over your shoulder. It is brilliant.
yeah.
Now this
like it.
yarn doesn't have any wool in it.
It's very soft, though.
It is. It's
tweed.
97% acrylic and 3% other fiber. Somebody said that other fiber usually is the slubs in there.
It's perfect color for this style, I think.
I think it's brilliant. I really am happy with it.
Yeah.
That might be a Christmas knit for
yeah,
some
it'd be
people.
nice to be warm. It'd be nice to
next
get
year.
that as a gift, yeah.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
That. Easy knit, like an easy put together.
It has a very interesting construction, I'll put it that way. And I love it because you get some places where you add detail. So there's has to do with the way you pick up. And this is the first time I did a bind off that Elizabeth Zimmerman made popular.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and I loved it. It makes such a nice edge, and I ended up using it in something else. So I have to remember what that was. So those are my finished objects.
And my finished objects.
Yes, May.
Of course, we're still doing the painting thing. I mean, the Michigan thing, we're going to be wrapping that up maybe the next one. We've got one more Michigan.
After this one, yes.
And then hopefully I'll have another painting done. You have to be kind of in the right mood for a painting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Michigan painting is going to
And
be
we had a great time in Michigan, and I know when we're talking to you right now, we had this in October, but we saw so many neat things, and we
Right.
wanted to let each store that we visited or each place that we visited stand out on its own.
Because everyone was beautiful.
Exactly.
And every place was beautiful.
Exactly. And,
So-
you know, we're in Ontario and it's winter and you can't always get out and drive on an adventure. So it's really good that we did all that,
Right.
those many things.
So I have been busy also.
Just a second. Look at the organization for this one. Just look at this. It's brilliant.
We have to
Okay.
be organized when you're doing crafts because our whole house is chaos with crafts.
Yep.
You know, I haven't made, you saw beds on my last podcast if you watched, I made these little miniature beds and Colleen was kind enough to make the bedding for them. And so the combination was awesome, obviously, because I put a couple of the beds out in my little store, my little antique store. And sure enough, a day later, they sold.
I know,
So
it was
I've-
brilliant. We're
I've
both
been-
so excited.
I've been busy making more beds because I've got to replenish the inventory. So I want to get more inventory going there. So that has taken some of my time to make those little beds. But in my little spare time from that, I've been making little miniatures because when I build this dollhouse that I'm going to build, when the weather gets better and I can get into the garage, I want to be able to furnish and have some things for the dollhouse. And so this is a perfect time for us to do that because we're kind of
Absolutely.
inside. So I've been making little polymer clay plates. And it's the 1:12 ratio for a dollhouse.
Do you want me to try and hold it up?
I think you can if you like. But
Okay. So I'm going to try and hold it up. And if this isn't going to work, we'll take some pictures.
Right.
So there's a little plate. These
And
are
then-
brilliant, May.
And little forks and knives. I'm gonna perfect this a little bit better.
Okay, I think we're going to have to take pictures because as much as I'm
okay.
holding it up, I think it's going to
I
mess
don't know
up
if you can
things.
see that, but anyway,
Yeah.
you can see that in my hand. And,
They're great. They're beautiful.
and little cups.
Oh my goodness.
A little cup and saucer there. Little teapot with the
We'll
lid.
get some pictures for you because
Little
Look
teapot with
at
a
that.
lid.
Oh my goodness.
Little cup and saucer.
It's amazing.
Little
You're
plate.
so talented.
Well, I'm gonna maybe start making. They're so tiny. My hands are. I didn't realize my hands were huge until I started doing this. And I made a 1 to 12 scale guitar. I've made these before. But
That
this
is
one I actually
beautiful.
tried to get more details because it's all. When you're doing miniatures, it's really all about the details.
Right.
So I made a
Fantastic.
miniature guitar for that. I might have a music room in my house, when the dollhouse. So I'm just trying to perfect this kind of thing. I'm trying to perfect the cutlery because it is, as you can see, tiny. I've got some other plans for that, so we'll see how that works.
You are incredibly
I'm going
talented.
to have a whole bunch. This is going to be full. And my idea is to have a whole collection at the end of the day so I can just kind of furnish the house.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's a nice little hobby and it's fun, and
You're really
hopefully
good
I
at
can
it.
sell some of these things at the store or on our Etsy store.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress uses some of the leftover yarn from our Ireland yarn that I showed, that Multnomah shawl. And it's Comeragh yarns and fibers, and it's made in Waterford, Ireland. Oh my goodness, it's brilliant. And so what I decided was I had a little bit left, and so I decided I was going to make some baby socks. And this pattern, Kate Atherley, one of my favorites. And I don't think we'll call it what we normally call it because it's cute and it's babies, and we're not going to call it that other thing. Whoops, there we go. So if you pulled that up, that would be great.
That is so cute.
So I have enough yarn left. I have this much left.
You can make another sock.
I'm going to make another sock.
These
And
are
I'm
just
just
going to
gonna
go in our
tuck this
pile
away.
for when we have grandbabies.
That's right.
Nice. That'll
Exactly.
be cute.
Exactly.
Little Irish.
I really, really like it.
Yeah.
So it was fun to do. Pattern is great. And so if you have any leftover fingering weight yarn and you're up for making a pair of socks, make
Nice.
a pair of socks. You can always tuck them away. So far what I've tucked away is I have one pair of socks of the very first yarn that you and I dyed when we went to that retreat.
Wow.
So I have a pair of socks made by that. I think I have enough yarn to make another pair of socks.
Nice.
And then these ones are cute little tiny
Yeah, they are
socks.
great.
So the trick to doing this, though, I'm going to tell you, is you need to keep a record of what you did. I have a book where I write down how many rows I did and what I
Right.
did that way, which is a good thing because my memory, I don't remember.
So you can do the other sock.
So I can do the other sock because sometimes I have to leave something and try work on something else, and it's like, oh, I don't remember what size I did. I don't remember about how many rows I did. So if you haven't started, keep yourself a lovely book. And the nice thing about it is
Right.
you then have a record of all the things you've made.
You should bring your books. I know you're always writing. You should bring your books. Give some ideas of how you do.
They can be very messy, but it's good, and I understand what's going on. So it's just a suggestion. A lot of you are doing it anyway,
Right.
but if you haven't done it. So that's the first work in progress. Now, May, cowls. Last time we discussed that somehow I had 3 and you had 2. And May, we have to take care of her. She's a knit-worthy woman. So I thought I had better be getting on with my little cowls. So I started working on this, and I'd had this pattern for a while. It's called the Bombini, and it's by Kay F Jones. And I had some yarn that was left over. It's Cascade Heritage Silk, which, by the way, is beautiful to work with. And so I'd made some Yuletide socks, and I had yarn left. And I thought, I think I can get away with this. So I decided to make it. And this is going to look beautiful on you. This morning you were saying, what am I going to wear? I said, whatever you want. And you picked something great. So hopefully next time you might be able to
I
wear
wish
this
I had
one.
$1 for every cowl you've knit me, because I'd be very rich.
We're going to have to get a big bucket because there's lots.
Oh, I love the colors.
I know. So these are the socks that I made. If you look in a previous episode, I made something called the Yuletide socks, which I love. And this is made with the leftover yarn. So
I
it's
think this would be a
fingering
great
weight.
color.
It is a brilliant color. And I still
Yeah.
have a lot of this left.
Wow.
Because this was just cuff, toes, and heels on those other socks. And
Beautiful.
so I love the color
I
as
love
well.
this little stripes going on.
I know, and it's
there.
going to make a nice V. And I have to, when I'm doing the hat for this, sew things together. Once again, this is a paid-for pattern, but I'm just telling you, it's brilliant how you all of a sudden bring things together and start working in the round.
Nice.
I really like it. This is going to look beautiful on you.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
I'm really, really
Another
happy about
cowl.
that. Yep, another one. Okay.
So lucky.
So now we're at 3 apiece. Not that we're keeping score, but we are. All right, so I needed to do another one for May. She had to be in the lead. All right, so this is something called the Mistake Rib Cowl, and it's by Purl Soho. And I am using, by the way, this yarn is brilliant. It is called Heartland by Lion Brand Yarns. It's a big skein because it is 142 grams. It's 100% acrylic, but it is so soft. And O is right.
Wow, you would swear there was cashmere in this.
It feels really soft.
Yeah.
So I took the pattern and I added a few more stitches because I wanted you to have a little bit more room around your neck. But this color is so
Nice.
It's going to be pretty. So it's really an interesting one because I think this is a free pattern. So if you go onto Purl Soho's website, they have lots of free patterns. And it is nice and squishy. And I think you're going to really, really like it.
I like it
The
already.
color is brilliant on you.
Yes.
Exactly. It was funny. I had 2 different colors. I said, there's green and there's blue. And I said, what color would you like? And she says, I like blue. And I said, well, you already had a blue one. She goes, I want blue. So blue it is. And I'm happy. So
Nice.
that's really good.
Good.
All right. So that's that. So now 4 to 3.
There's not what we're counting. We're not.
No, we're not counting.
No.
I'm joking with you.
Yeah.
She knows. I'll keep making her cowls. It's all good. But I had bought some plucky yarn. This is a hazel worsted, and that's from Wool and Honey. And this is the Wool and Honey, a plucky knitter made this for Wool and Honey, and it is the Wool and Honey colorway. So I ordered this. They didn't have any when we visited, so I ordered it. Now, it is a beautiful blue-green. I think it has to do with something with the water. Sorry for the noise.
Oh,
of the
I love
knitting
this
needles.
green. It's kind of like an ocean color.
Exactly. So this cowl is
Not the
brilliant.
usual color.
No, but it's nice and squishy. It's called the Free for All Cowl, and that's by Jennifer Peck, and it is amazing. So
How's this going to go?
I'll show you. So it has provisional cast on. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
So this V, the V at the
okay.
end is going to fit into there.
I see.
And then I'm going to just join it together. Now, don't worry that I have lost my marbles and I'm putting these 2 colors together. That is just the provisional cast on. I'll be pulling it out when I join it up.
Oh, I'm so glad. I was going to say, that's pretty good.
She probably thought, what is wrong with this woman?
But I didn't want to say that.
No.
But-
So I have just a little bit left, so I'm going to knit as long as I can. There's a certain stitch that a certain row you have to knit to, and then I'm going to put it together. So I bought 3 skeins of this, and I love it. So I'm not sure. It definitely is it's not so much a winter color.
Yes.
And it's winter weight yarn. It's called hazel worsted. It's lovely. It's got 20% cashmere.
Wow.
It's
You're worthy
beautiful.
of that, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I haven't decided. I have 2 more skeins. I'm either going to put those 2 together and make another kind of scarf, or I'm going to make one. I've got a pattern that I made for you, that gray and pink one.
Right.
And I love the color, but I want to tone it down a little bit. So I think I might do that. And that leaves me with another color. And I might make a nice hat.
Nice.
So there's lots of possibilities, and that's the nice thing about yarn. Sometimes you buy it for a certain reason, you go, yep, changed my mind.
Yeah, good.
Exactly. So those are my works in progress, and next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Today's adventure took us to Howell, Michigan. Great little place. We didn't spend a lot of time there. In Howell, we just went to the yarn store, which was called Stitch and Time, which was beautiful. We did stop at an antique place called Livingston Antique Outlet, and that was on Burkhart Road. And somebody had given me a card and said, if you go to Howell, you need to go to this antique mall. So there's 33,000 square feet.
It is huge.
Massive. 200 vendors. So basically that was our adventure of this, because it took us most of our day to go through this place.
Right.
Quite the little experience. Was it? I don't know why I don't have any photographs of it, but I thought we photographed, but I can't find the photos.
Well,
of
I
it.
think sometimes, and I don't know, because I don't think we asked. I think we
Oh,
were
okay.
worried that in some places they don't want you to take pictures.
Right.
Right. So I
Yes.
don't think we asked to do it. It wasn't that anybody said no, you couldn't,
Right.
but I think we
you're
were
right.
just worried about
Right.
that.
So we just took the time, and we spent half a day there just walking through each booth. There's like, say, 200 booths of people's antique things, which we like to look at.
That's right.
And we're both, we were We both kind of went like this when we took a look at a booth and we saw this little mouse going. Whew.
And I looked at May because I thought, did I just see what I think I saw? And she looked at me like, did I just see what I think I saw? So we both agreed. Yes, there was a mouse, but that's okay.
So we're glad that somebody had mentioned to go there, because otherwise we wouldn't have seen this place, and it was phenomenal. So it was near Howell. I think it's just a little outside of Howell.
It is.
And Howell only has about 10,000 people, so it's not a massive place. But it looked like very nice. We're kind of just passing through, and the yarn store was such a great experience also.
Exactly.
That I don't even think we stayed in Howell. The hotel was
someplace
else outside of Howell. It was kind of a stop by or whatever.
Right, exactly.
But it was a great little adventure, and certainly glad we went there. But I don't think there's anything else I can talk about Howell. Oh, Melissa Gilbert was, Melissa Gilbert for Little House on the Prairie.
Yes.
If you watched that, she was born in Howell.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. See, you always come up with all these interesting facts. I've learned so much from you.
Good. Well, I learned so much from you. I mean, I'm not going to do half the stuff that you talk about, but it's interesting that you know so much. As soon as she said,
that's a party of 5. I went, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know stuff.
Yes, you do.
Anyway, maybe you can talk a little bit about the yarn store.
I will. So the yarn store is called Stitch in Time. I have this lovely little card.
I had such a great experience in that yarn store.
It was great.
As you can see from the photos, it was just a homey home, and she was lovely.
Exactly.
And they live up the upstairs.
Right. And so the lady's name we talked to was Charlene Hatfield.
She was lovely.
She is lovely. And she took the time to explain where things were and tell us a little bit about the store. And it was actually voted the best local yarn store in 2019. They had a big banner out when we went, which was really cool. They, as you said, they live upstairs. They have all kinds of rooms. So it's an old house. So you go in and there's yarn. And it's basically, there's yarn everywhere you could think to put yarn. And she's got it set in different weights of yarn, which is really helpful. There's a big case of sock yarn, and there's all chunky
yarn. You can
yarn.
see from the photos. It was,
exactly.
The inventory was amazing.
Exactly. And there were a group of ladies that were sitting and knitting while we were there, and they were having a great time.
It's a nice atmosphere, yeah.
It is a really nice atmosphere. It's funny when you go into a place, you can kind of tell right away.
Yeah. Now she does online things too, I think.
She sells patterns online, but doesn't sell yarn online.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and she's got some nice patterns that she's made. They actually have their own yarn just for the shop, and it has some mink in it. I think it's got mink and cashmere in it.
Wow.
And it was really, really soft. And I thought, oh, I could make something with that. And then I wandered around a little bit more. So there's, when you find a store, I could have bought lots of things because it was well displayed and there were great samples. And that is helpful to me as a knitter when I can see something made up.
And the samples that you can touch.
Exactly.
And feel and
exactly.
take, look at. And
because I honestly, when she said there was mink in it, I thought, okay, I'm going to touch that and see what it feels. Well, it was really soft. They also have yarn that is from, May wrote this down for me. It is from Afghanistan, and it is called Afghan cashmere, and I think it's 100% cashmere.
Wow.
Brilliant. Didn't buy that either, but it was so soft. I thought, oh, May, I should make something for you, but we might go back because
it was
a
a
really
long
lovely
Michigan
store.
trip. We had spent a lot of money on yarn.
We had.
we'd gone
so we were in the last
yes.
day or two. So it was time to be
frugal.
Okay, myself and yarn, frugal is not the word. I'm just saying it's never ever going to be the word because it's like, it's kind of.
You're like a kid in the candy store. Really.
I am, exactly. And it's funny because May often looks at me like, how can you be in a yarn store for so long? And then I went to Home Depot with her and we went to the lumber section. And I watched her. She goes, oh, look at this. It's beautiful.
This wood. I talk about wood like you talk about yarn.
And I thought,
look at this beautiful piece of wood.
Yeah.
And you're like, I talk about my yarn like that.
Exactly. So we kind of understand each other, even though it's different things we are all about them. So it was fun. Had a great time. The other thing that they do, and that's Charlene, they take trips. So I think this coming year, this year in June, they're going to South Africa. Now I'm pretty sure it's all booked up. On this one, they went to Ireland before. So I would, go on their website. So once again, that's Stitch in Time. Go on the website and see what you can see because they're probably going to soon
Do other
he's
trips.
starting for another trip.
Because I remember looking at that and going, 2020, that's like forever away.
I know.
And here we are.
I know. I'm going next year. I'm going, no, that's this year. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but I thought that would have been a great trip, South Africa, and
exactly.
but she organizes all of that, and they go and just I don't even know if it's got anything to do with knitting. Like anybody can go.
Right.
I think she just likes to organize those.
I know in Ireland they would go to wool stores.
Right.
I'm not sure in South Africa what they're going to see, but there might be something that she's got organized. She's a great lady, and the store is
really
beautiful.
cool.
So if you are ever in Howell, I would suggest you go to Stitch in Time. Okay, if you live near, go take a look.
Right.
So that's our adventure, and next we're going to talk about souvenirs. As May mentioned, we're getting close to the end of our Michigan trip. My suitcase can only hold so much yarn. So when I was at the Stitch in Time yarn store, I really looked around because I wanted something, and I found something, and it's very funny that my finished objects are related to this. So what I found was this Comeragh Yarns and Fibres. Hard to believe that I'm finding yarn from Waterford, Ireland in Howell, Michigan, but I did. This one is called Every Breaking Wave, and I'm going to try and show it to you.
Beautiful colors.
It's got deep blue and there's greens, and I don't know, I'm going to make something beautiful out of it. It'll be a one skein shawl for sure.
Maybe that one shawl that you did, the
I
green
could make
Ireland
another
that
one.
would be really nice in that
It
color.
would be beautiful.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is Stitch in Time is one of the, I can't remember exactly, it's either the only store east of Chicago or one of the very few stores in the States that carries this yarn. And she has a nice relationship with the people that dye this yarn, and she being Charlene. And Charlene's job is every time she sells a skein of this, she takes a picture of the person that bought it.
Did she take a picture of you?
She took a picture of me that I bought that. So I thought, oh my gosh, what a great idea.
Right.
You know, so anyway, I was thrilled.
You just bought it because you wanted your picture taken. Come on.
No, that wasn't it. But anyway, I thought that was a neat idea for a yarn store
that's
to
a great
do that.
idea.
So I'm
Nice.
really happy with this yarn. I'm going to make something beautiful with it. So that's our adventure to Howell, Michigan. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below. Let us know if there is another yarn store that we should visit that we haven't seen yet. Right now, we're just waiting for the weather to be nice so the roads are clear and we don't have to worry about it. But we're looking into where we're going to go next on our adventures. So thanks so much. If you like what we're doing for you, please subscribe. We are enjoying this very much and we want to continue to do it. So until next time,
You take care.